There are 10 absolutely insane features hidden inside Claude that most people have no clue about. And feature number 6, that one changed everything for me. So I recently made a full switch from ChatGPT to Claude, completely cancelled all my subscription and everything, and honestly, zero regrets. Because the more I dug in, the more I kept finding features that made me go, wait, it can do that? So today I'm going to share you all of them with you. So let's get started. So this one is probably my favorite and the one that I think is most underrated. Claude has these things called connectors, and what they do is let Claude plug directly into your existing tools. I'm talking about Gmail, Google Calendar, Notion, Google Drive, the apps that you're already living in every single day. So for example, I have my Gmail connected and I can literally say, hey Claude, go through my inbox and find all the emails from brands that wants to collaborate with me. And it just does it. It pulls real emails, summarizes them, tells me who is waiting on a reply. Or with Notion. I use Notion to track my sponsorship pipeline. I can tell Claude to update a status, add a new entry, or pull up everything that's due this week without ever leaving the chat. The setup takes like 2 minutes. You go to your Claude settings, click connectors, and just authorize the apps that you want. That's it. Okay, this one is so underrated. Skills are basically repeatable workflows that Claude can learn and execute consistently every single time. Let me give you an example. Say you're someone who drafts a lot of outreach emails, and every time you want Claude to use a specific format, short subject line, friendly but professional tone, always end with a clear call to action. Instead of explaining that every single time, you set it up as a skill. Now you just say, draft an outreach email to this brand, and Claude already knows exactly how you want it written. Or say you get Excel files from a client every week and you always need to clean up the headers, remove empty rows, and add a summary sheet. That's a skill. You teach Claude the process once and it just does it automatically every single time you upload a file. Claude already comes with a built-in skills for creating presentations, spreadsheets, Word documents, and PDFs. But here's the cool part. You can teach something once in a chat and then simply say, convert this to a skill, and that's it. Claude will save this knowledge as a skill, and later when you have the same work to do, just ask Claude to use that skill and it'll remember everything. This is honestly the kind of feature that makes Claude feel less like a chatbot and more like an actual assistant who knows how you like things done. This one is a game changer for anyone who is juggling multiple things. Projects in Claude lets you create dedicated workspaces, each with their own custom instructions. And the custom instructions are what makes this so powerful. Let me show you what I mean. Say you run a small business. You could create a project called Client Emails and set instructions like always use a professional but warm tone. Our company name is XYZ. Never promise timelines without checking with me first. Sign off with my name and title. Now, every conversation you start inside that project, Claude already follows those rules. You don't have to repeat yourself. You don't have to paste a prompt template. It just knows. But here's where it gets really useful. You could have a completely different project for, say, meal planning. And those instructions could say, I am a vegetarian, I cook for 2, I prefer 30 minutes recipes, suggest Indian and Mediterranean dishes. Totally different vibe, totally different context. You can even upload reference files into a project like a company handbook, brand guidelines, or a product spec. So Claude always has that context loaded without you having to re-upload it every time. It's like giving Claude a different brain for each area of your life. Okay, this one literally blew my mind the first time I saw it. Claude can now create interactive visuals right inside the conversation. I'm not talking about a static image, I mean actual interactive diagrams, flowcharts, and even little web widgets all rendered inline right in the chat. So you could just say, explain how a neural network works. And instead of giving you just a wall of text, Claude will generate a beautiful SVG diagram showing you the layers with labels and everything, right there inside conversation. or ask it to chart some data, and you get an actual interactive chart that you can hover over and explore. No separate tools, no copy pasting into another app, it's just there. You ask Claude, it shows you, and you can just take a screenshot or share it with someone. So most people know that Claude can write text, but did you know that it can also create actual downloadable files? I'm talking full-on PowerPoint presentations, Word documents, spreadsheets, PDFs, real files that you can download, edit, and send it to someone. I use this all the time. I'll just say, create a 10-slide pitch deck about my new app, and it literally generates a PowerPoint presentation file that I can open in PowerPoint or Google Slides, with real slides, real formatting, real content. But here's where it gets even better. You're not stuck with the first draft. You can say, move slide 3 to the end, change the title on slide 5, or add a comparison table to slide 7. And Claude makes those edits right there in the chat. You keep iterating until it's exactly what you want, and then you download the final version. No templates, no fighting with formatting, just tell Claude what you need and let it handle the heavy lifting. Okay, this is the one that I teased at the beginning, and it's actually 2 features in one, so buckle up. First, let's talk about artifacts. Artifacts are these rich, interactive outputs that render right in the sidebar of your Claude conversation. Think of them as mini apps that Claude builds for you on the fly. I'm talking interactive calculators, data dashboard, games, form builders, project trackers, full working applications. Claude writes the code and you see it running live instantly. No setup, no deployment. It just works right there in the browser. And here's the thing, you can publish any artifact. That turns it into a shareable link, send to a coworker, a client, or anyone. They don't even need a Claude account. They just click the link and use it. And on the flip side, you can browse artifacts that other people have published. So if someone built an amazing budget tracker or a workout planner, you can just use it directly. It's like a mini app store, but everything was built by AI. Now here's where it gets truly wild. Artifacts can actually call Claude again inside themselves. Let me say that again. The thing Claude builds can use Claude inside of it to do more stuff. So imagine you ask Claude to build a translation tool. It creates the artifact with a nice little interface, a text box, and a language selector. You type in some text, and the artifact itself sends that text to Claude, gets a translation back, and then shows it to you, all within the artifact. No external tools, no code editors, just Claude powering Claude. Or I even built an inbox prioritizer app which connects to my Gmail using my Gmail connector at the beginning. Now, when I launch it, it will take my emails from the past, use Claude to categorize them, and even draft me replies right inside the mini app. This is one of those features where once you see it, you start thinking of 100 things that you could build with it. Here's something a lot of people miss. You're not stuck with one model in Claude. You can actually switch between different models depending on what you need. Right now, you've got Opus 4.6, which is the most powerful and intelligent. And then Sonnet, which is faster and great for everyday stuff. And then Haiku, which is the speed demon, super fast for quick tasks. So if I'm doing deep research or working on a complex script, I'll switch to Opus. But if I just need a quick email drafter or a simple answer, I'll use Sonnet or Haiku and save my Opus usage for the heavy lifting. Think of it like having different tools in a toolbox. Match the model to the task and you will get better results while being way more efficient. Okay, this one is brand new and it's so cool. Claude Dispatch lets you kick off tasks on your desktop Claude from your phone. So picture this, you're out running errands and you suddenly remember that you need Claude to research something or compile a report or organize some files. Instead of waiting until you get home, you can just open Claude app on your phone, fire off a dispatch command, and Claude starts working on it on your computer in the background. By the time you get back to your desk, the work is done. It's sitting there waiting for you. research compiled, files organized, report drafted. It basically converts your phone into a remote control for your AI assistant. I've made a full video on this as well, and if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below. Cowork is basically Claude working in the background on your computer, doing real tasks while you go do other things. It can browse the web, create files, research topics, manage your desktop like an actual coworker sitting next to you. I've used it to research the entire video topics while I was out grabbing coffee. I come back and there is a full research document waiting for me with sources, key points, and even a draft outline. Cowork is honestly so powerful that I made a full dedicated video on it. If you want to see everything it can do in detail, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But the short version is, if you're not using Cowork yet, start here. It's the closest thing to having an actual assistant sitting next to you, and it's a total game changer for productivity. Global instructions. This is different from project instructions. This applies to every single conversation you have with Claude everywhere. So you can set this thing like, always respond in a casual tone. I am a content creator based in Seattle. I prefer concise answers. Never use bullet points unless I ask. And Claude will just respect that in every chat, every project, every time. You set it once and you forget it. An AI that knows your preference, your communication style, and the way you like things done. Pair this with projects and connectors, and honestly, it's like having a personal assistant that actually remembers everything about you and your work. So these are 10 Claude features that I think everyone should start using it. If any of these were new to you, drop a comment and let me know which one you're most excited to try. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. This is Anjana. Bye-bye.